Yeah, fuck her like a marionette puppet.
Oh, Jesus, Murphy.
Speaking of lemonade, my buddy, this is just last night. We were playing Age of Empires together, and he was like, "Hey, have you heard of charged lemonade at Panera Bread?" And I was like, "Yeah, I saw the meme and everything." And he's like, "Yeah, I had heard something about that like weeks ago, but I went and I joined like the Panera Sip Club or something. I don't know. It's like you pay a couple dollars a month and then you can go in and get as many coffees and drinks as you want whenever. So obviously, you know, very few people are going there and getting a lemonade and not getting a scone or something. So they make money." And he was like, "I thought it was kind of like I don't know, like a Red Bull or like a seltzer, a charged seltzer water amount of caffeine in it." And he said he got a large one and a small one and drank both of them, and then had to go online afterward to look up how much caffeine it was. And the large one is 390 milligrams of caffeine, and the small one is like 160. And so it was like 600, 500 milligrams, like over that of caffeine. And he said there's no indication that it's that strong. Like it doesn't taste. It's like usually you drink something with a lot of caffeine, it immediately like parches your mouth a little bit, dries it. You can kind of tell. Said there was none of that. There's no carbonation to slow you down. And so he's like, "Yeah, I just like drank the whole large one unthinkingly while working. And like a little bit later, I was like, why am I in such a blind panic? Like, why am I so panicked right now? There's nothing to be panicked about." And he like said he was considering going to the doctor, and then was like, "Oh, it's the Panera. It's the Panera charged lemonade."
You know, it doesn't look that bad in this thing. I can't tell what all those drinks are. I mean,
it's because like all those
Bang
other ones,
is the biggest one.
Yeah, all those other ones are hot.
Ounce.
Yeah, per ounce.
Per ounce. This is the concentration of caffeine in these beverages.
Yeah, and so like the Panera thing, like that has more caffeine in it than a Bang Energy.
And to point out, the Panera has the largest serving and the third largest concentration. Like, my God. Look how big the Panera, they serve you like a giant.
But it's the fifth largest concentration.
Yes, the fifth or I guess kind of tied for the dark roast about. But it's basically
it's still like, you know, the Panera dark roast that's right next to it that you'd think would have a lot of caffeine is probably half as much when you drink as the serving size.
Half the serving, yeah.
Oh, less than half. Like the Panera thing they're showing is like what, 12 ounces, and that giant cup is like 42 ounces or something. Like it's like a gas station sized cup. I was there the other day with my dad just getting lunch, catching up, and I saw people getting it in that giant cup, and I'm like, man, they're getting to get so much done.
I like that we live in an age of irresponsible food. Just huge servings, things that are tremendous calorie.
Well, that's an American thing, though. You know, it's like that's the stereotype, right? Of Americans and
it's not wrong. I had this team building event back when I had a Minecraft server, and the guy from Scotland came over and really wanted to experience the serving sizes of our drinks. They went out at like 1 a.m. one night, borrowed my car just to go to a gas station and buy gigantic drinks.
Yeah.
Freedom.
I never do that.
Like even when you cross the border from Canada to the States, States, it's you see it immediately, right? It's like the extra large is like bucket size when you go to McDonald's and stuff, and
does Canada have bitch size servings?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's small, normal, healthy servings. I mean,
paying for refills.
I mean, you say tomato. Tomato.
Do y'all really do you pay for refills at like at the average?
Not really, because some of the pop machines or soda machines, depending what state you're in, they're on the outside. You fill up your own. So, but it's not like
if you were like, I'm gonna say like an Outback or an Applebee's, like a chain style restaurant.
No, you pay. You don't get. Well, it's hard to say. Some restaurants are free refills. Not many are.
I'm not tipping if you start charging me for Cokes.
So, yeah, it depends on where you are.
I'm so trained that refills for soda for soft drinks should be free that I would be irate if I because when I go to if I'm going to a steakhouse or something, I might drink 7 Diet Cokes. They give you those tiny little glasses with so much ice in it that you're like 2 sips and it's like, oh, well, that's half of this one gone. I better just finish it and let them reload me next time they get here. And then you do that a few times. I'd be, like $4 a pop. Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck you. this is communism. This is I guess it's pure capitalism, but it's I don't like it, and things I don't like are communist. So I would not. I think so.
I would imagine that their cost per ounce of soda is like zero, like almost.
Yeah,
it's borderline free. Yeah,
it's borderline free. So the idea, it's almost like a wink and a nod, like, hey, we're charging you too much for this shitty food, but don't worry, we got your back with the sugar water. Thank you. I appreciate
the cost of the drinks. Like, so let's all agree that the seltzer water and sugar syrup is not very much. But what does it cost to like keep those machines cleaned and maintained? And I don't know what else there is involved.
You think they clean those machines? Sure, it's rare.
I thought they might. I don't know.
McDonald's ones, they keep them pretty clean because they have like a
stories about
deal
the ice
with
machines.
Yeah, I have heard
about ice. I never even considered that the ice might not be so clean, but I just scoop a bucket in a hotel like it's like no one peed in there.
Yeah, like no one vomited in there 3 weeks ago as a prank or some nonsense.
Jesus.
It's easy.
I never get ice anywhere, bro.
Like if you think about gross stuff in ice, or like if you're someone who always thinks your food is being fucked with, like you're just not going to be happy. You can't dwell on things like that. Like all of us have eaten food that's been fucked with at one point or another.
Just Kyle more than everybody else, but
I eat ass. You think I care if you spit my soda? Get the fuck out of here.
But what if she had E. coli?
She definitely had E. coli. That's where do you think I'm getting the food poisoning from, Taylor? I prepare all my meals.
I got E. coli from the lettuce at Chipotle. I was wiping my girlfriend's ass with it in the bedroom.
If you eat ass, E. coli is just flavoring at that point. Like
waitresses spitting in my food is my kink. That's why I treat them that way.
I'm always worried I'm going to catch some strays. Whenever I've been at a table and Woody orders, I'm like, I hope they don't get my drink mixed up with it.
Yeah.
If Woody orders a Sprite, you better believe I'm getting a Coca-Cola or something dark. There's no way I'm getting something similar.
Yeah, I never send anything back to the kitchen just for that reason.
Yeah, I'll send it back if it's fucked up. I'll send it back.
It's got to be really bad for me to send it back.
It's got to be really bad.
I can't recall sending anything back. Maybe if it's not what I ordered.
Oh, yeah. If it's like I order a cheeseburger and they bring out pasta.
You know, I've never sent anything back either. I guess what I meant was I would send something back if there was something wrong. But I don't remember ever sending anything back.
I can't remember the last time I did. It's maybe been like once.
I don't want them to
ever.
Fix it up. Like, oh, this steak's not cooked enough. I don't want them to like give it another round on the stove. That's not the same as cooking it right the first time. I'll just take what I got.
So here's what people do: that if they're like shit's cold or it's wrong or whatever, to make sure they get a new one, they salt the fuck out of it. They salt the fuck out of it and mix it up. Like, hey, this is all wrong. Go fix it. And they bring it back and salt again. You're like, aha! See, I play a little joke on you, bitch. I salted. You tricked me. Now go back in there behind closed doors and make my meal over again.
Kyle's gonna get my kink satisfied.
I got her.
Well, Miss Waitress, the joke's on you. My time is worthless. So I've created a Rube Goldberg trap for you to fall into about the saltiness of my steak. Now go back there and don't rub your pussy on it. Like,
did you see
what I used to go to? I'm sorry, Kyle. I'll give you the phone in a second. I used to eat with my coworkers all the time. And when we had leftover bread, I had one who would stick green beans in the bread just to make so that if they served it to the next table, they'd get busted.
Oh,
what a terrorist.
That's funny.
Genius.
Did you see that? There's a not hidden, I guess, but like there's cameras behind the counter, and this lady takes the hot dog wiener, she hikes her skirt up, puts her leg on the counter, fucks herself with somebody's hot dog wiener, and then puts it on the bun and like serves it to them, and it's on camera. And there's no way they got to that wiener before it was eaten.
No, they're king.
That's vile.
That's
vile.
Nah,
and look, as bad as it is for the guy who has to eat the fishy wiener, she just like her pussy's now got like hot dog residue in there. That can't be good for her.
And the kind of woman who's going to do that, I don't think she's douching. I don't think she's taking care of it the way she should.
She's not taking care of that.
Just introducing Oscar Mayer bacteria into that
It's self-cleaning, Taylor. Haven't you heard?
Yeah.
I mean,
to what extent?
Ever since I saw that Ryan Reynolds movie where he worked in the kitchen and they would do
waiting.
Yeah. That's why I stopped thinking about sending stuff back to the kitchen. Like, oh hell no.
That impacted me
road
too.
trip.
Yeah.
It was road trip for me. There's a scene early on where that geeky guy like sends his French toast back because there's powdered sugar on it or some shit, and the fat cook played by I think Horatio Sands just runs it through the most disgusting ringer of awful things to do to French toast. There's powdered sugar on it. He didn't know where that. He picks it up. He goes, like licks all the powdered sugar off real quick, like throws it in the air, and then he reaches behind himself and pulls his waistband out so it falls down the back of his pants, and he leaves it down the ass crack of his pants while he does some other shit. And he's like wiggling around. He farts on it, and then he like gets it back out, throws it on the plate, takes it out, and the kid's eating, and he goes, yummy. And it's just like, note to self, don't send.
Have you guys ever worked at a restaurant? Anyone?
McDonald's briefly.
You worked at McDonald's briefly.
Briefly.
My first job was at this place called The Keg.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like 14, 15, and I was a dishwasher. So I don't know if that counts as working in a restaurant, but
yeah, it does.
It was the most back-breaking stuff because it's not just washing the dishes, but the cleanup after the restaurant closes. I was like, I realized at that point I was not made for physical labor. Because you have to clean that up and clean up all the stuff above the fans and all that stuff. And I was like I was a young soccer player. I was in shape and stuff, but the morning after, my back was bugging me. I was like, oh, I'm not. That was a one day. That was a one dayer. I was done.
One day?
Yeah, I was done.
That's as long as I made it at Ben & Jerry's. Yeah,
I worked at a place called
Ben & Jerry's.
Flanders Boardwalk Grill in Ocean City. I started when I was 13. I worked there illegally. You have to be 14 in New Jersey, but I was under the table. And my main job was renting out bikes, but I also peeled potatoes and served food to like the customers and stuff. It never even occurred to me to like do something unkind to the food. I would just make it the way that I thought was good. And then eventually that evolved to making it the way that my boss thought was good, which I guess is a good evolution.
Yeah.
He'd always hate, like, I like my toast to be buttered. All of the, like, there shouldn't be dry spots on the toast. It should have a thin layer of butter from edge to edge. And he's like, you're going to give him a heart attack. I don't know if he thought he was making better toast than me or if he was being cheap with the butter. I still don't know. But that was the kind of food. He was unpleasable.
You were the toast king. I bet everybody, when they got your toast, they were like, oh, who's the toast? I demand to speak to the toast boy today.
Hey,
because he's killing it back. You come out, you're just covered in butter.
Hey, where's the butter boy? Is the butter boy back there? Yeah, give me 4 slices of toast. Extra buttery.
I never did anything bad to people's food, but it was hard, dude. I must have had like 15 gallons of potatoes I'd peel at a time. They were boiled the night before to make it a little easier, but it just took forever. It was so much work. It was so heavy.
Isn't there like can't you just like pull it all off in one, like if they're boiled and cold?
I used a butter knife and it would come off very easily.
Oh, you just scrape it, huh?
Yeah.
Isn't that like punishment in the military though?
Yeah.
Dude, it was the worst job. Yeah. My boss always screamed at me. If I was even like 1 minute late, he was just brutal. I quit after 2 years of being like abused by him. And I came in 2 minutes late and he just laid into me so he's like, what does your time card say? And it was early too. It was like 5:02 a.m. And he's like, like, what the fuck? Why are you late? I was like, I quit. I can't take it. I can't. Not one more day.
You're showering at 4:40 that morning. Like, today's the day you put your foot down, butter boy.
It's still dark.
That's awful. No,
that reminds me of The Bear. Have you seen that?
No.
It's a new TV show with the guy from Shameless in it.
I've seen a couple episodes of Shameless. It depressed me. I didn't watch anymore.
Yeah,
I love Shameless.
The Bear is an amazing show, but it's about a restaurant, and it will trigger you if you've worked in restaurants. But it's an amazing show. You have to watch it.